everybody, and welcome back to Explorer's Guide to Thermia. I'm Sam. I'm the DM for this campaign that's set in my homebrew world, Thermia, and these are all my players here. This is our third session, if I remember correctly. Third recorded session. We had one session 0 that got recorded but got lost to technical difficulties, which I will mention every single session, basically.
Every session. Lost Tales.
Yes. So before I do the flashback, why don't all of you guys introduce yourselves? Like I said, I'm Sam. I'm the DM, and why don't we start over there with CJ?
CJ. I'm CJ. I will be playing the character of Hoyt Tannen. I am a drunk gunslinger that is struggling to reconcile the demons he carries with him from his past, and I'm always on the hunt for the one I believe that is responsible for my sister's death. So we've got some plans tonight.
Cool. Dennis.
My name is Dennis. I play Adam Dalton. I'm a noble wizard. I come from a very storied and fancy background. Very old family. At the age of 25, I lost a loved one, and I just said, screw it, and hit the road. I'm very standoffish, but I'm slowly opening up as I start to learn my fellow, party mates. So, looking forward to seeing what comes next.
Jordan?
Yes, I'm Jordan. I will be continuing the ever flawless portrayal of Colburn Ramon, the group's warlock, Asmer warlock. He's had some fun times so far. Watch our last session; he had a really fun time, and but he did come to some realizations with some meetings. So that's probably going to play out a little bit over the next few sessions. How you'll probably see some changes coming over from his normal selfish, dickish personality.
Cool. Kristen and Clint.
All right, I'm Kristen. I am playing the character of Willow, and I am a Fae cleric. I started this journey with Maxwell, and along our way, I'm discovering more machinery, the technology that I haven't seen before in the world that I come from. So I'm kind of fascinated by that, and recently I became very sick from drinking iron ale. So since I am Fae, I became sick except Maxwell. So that's also kind of a secret that I'm still hiding from my fellow teammates. But hopefully that'll come to light soon. Waiting for that right moment.
All right. My name is Clint. I am playing Maxwell Aku. I am a druid, pretty boy, love to flirt, looking for love in all the wrong places, and I'm just trying to. I'm on a quest. I'm on a quest.
Losing your pants along the way.
That wasn't me. I once in a while, all right?
Well, there was exposure going on either way.
I'm just trying to see what the world's holding, see the technology that is kind of plaguing our world. So that's where we are.
All right. That is where we are. As for what happened last session, the group of PCs here, they've been traveling together for roughly 10, 12 days. A 10-day trip turned into a 12-day trip due to some unfortunate mishaps on the road. But you did manage to make it to Mako Village, which was your first stop. Well, not your first stop. The first important stop on your road to Ulo, which is where you're taking the NPC, Mosi, to help her get her marriage annulled and get her life back on track, because it was recently ruined by someone who had lied to her. But you guys got to Mako Village, found out that some kind of competition was happening where 5 people were climbing up a waterfall in the very beginnings of winter. So they were climbing up a freezing cold waterfall, where you met a young man, and he filled you in a little bit on the cultures of the Imalamakan people, and life on the mountain and whatnot. You guys then, when you arrived, saw that someone had one and was named the Unyielding. And if you want to know more about the naming process and why it's important to the Imalamakas, just watch session 2. But as a result of that, the entire town went to party mode, and you guys, since you just arrived, went into party mode, and you partied hard, partaking of the local ale that was made of some kind of distilled iron oak tree sap, basically fermented iron oak tree sap, and it got you guys drunk.
Super drunk.
You guys partied. You guys all woke up hungover. Everyone in town did the exact same thing, but they all just went straight to work. So you guys woke up to the sound of people cutting down trees and friggin' working on wood and shit like that. So you all woke up with like hammering headaches while everyone's making loud noises. And all in all, you guys had a very nice time. Got your bearings oriented again. Learned a little bit about what's happening up in the rest of the mountain where you're heading. Found out it's troll season. In which when you went up the mountain, you later found out that it is in fact troll season, since you were assaulted by trolls on the mountain and just throwing rocks down at you. You all managed to narrowly avoid them with your lives and your cart being in one piece, and have now officially made it to Ulo village. Well, no, I'm sorry, the city of Ulo. It's not a village. It is a huge, sprawling city, about a mile up the mountain. Where basically it's lots of switchback roads to get up there, and now you've landed on a flat section of this mountain, and you just see a huge city with buildings, with several buildings at the 5-story to 8-story marker. So lots of industry going on there. You see lots of people going in and out. You see some weird contractions. So it's like this. It's like a flat section of the mountain, but it's also still a mountain. So butts up against this near sheer cliff wall that's facing in your case, west side. So the sun goes down over the mountain range, and it looks like there's a bunch of what are those things called, where they take a cart and they go up on a cable.
A cable car?
Yeah, the cable cars.
Yeah. See, they got these cable car contraptions set up.
Gondolas. Yeah.
Whatever. They terrify me in real life.
No thanks.
Yeah, no. I don't want to be stuck on a little cable.
Swaying in the wind.
Mm-hmm. You're a mile up in the air. That's ridiculous.
No thanks.
But several of those set up. Looks like it takes you to places that are along the side of the cliff face. All in all, it is just like a big booming city, and it's roughly it's mid-afternoon, so the sun is almost completely down over the mountain range, so darkness is starting to set. It is starting to get there's quite a bit of bite in the air. It's pretty cold up here. But yeah, you guys have entered. It's not like a walled city or anything like that. This is more metropolitan than that. You could just walk in and you start seeing city. You start the road goes from regular plain stone to very nice tight brick setup that they got. So yeah, welcome to Ulo. Well, you see Mosi kind of comes out and is like, "Oh, finally home." It's been it hasn't been that long. It's been maybe a month. Still, it's nice to be home.
So I'm driving the cart.
Mm-hmm.
So I turn to our NPC and I ask, "Where's a good place we can hold up for tonight?"
Preferably the tavern. We got to unload some of this ale that lady gave us.
Yes.
Oh,
Go on. What did you say?
I always tell my associate good point.
Yeah. it's probably best if we don't go straight to my mom's place. It's more of an early morning type of deal. Yeah, there's some good inns around. I never had any reason to stay in any, but I know where some are. I lived here. I didn't need to stay in an inn. She takes you around to like try to find an inn. What's up, Jordan? You're dying over there.
You didn't see what he did?
No, I didn't look at the camera. What?
You didn't see his liquor bottle slowly come up into the camera?
I did.
See, I get through a character. I was like wistfully looking away.
He's just like totally sneaking. He's like.
I'm just, we're talking about taverns.
He's pretty
it's all about the tavern.
So yeah. Let's see here.
Goes down smooth. What's the name of this town?
Ulo.
What's that?
Ulo.
Hulu.
Well, ULO. This is the city of Ulo.
Ulo. ULO.
I want to find a tavern that's not like the peasant's tavern, but not like the super noble tavern.
Yeah. She ends up she takes you to that part of the town, or that part of the city, where you pass like the slums and you pass the cheap end districts and stuff like that, and you get into like the merchant areas, and you see looks like the Wounded Ward Inn, which is just like you see like some weird looking a placard of some weird looking dog silhouette, with a limp. And it's a moderate sized inn. You see, it's definitely like 3 stories high. Looks like the second and third story are completely rooms. The first floor is one big old tavern area where it seems like there's quite a bit of activity going on in there. It's not like slam packed or anything, but
Is there a stable?
Jesus, man.
It's water.
Oh, okay. It legit look like a tequila bottle or like a
There's all collectively that's called
Double this, yeah.
Is there a
CJ's gonna get messed up.
I'm getting a character, guys.
Is there a stable, Sam? Is there like a?
Yes. There's not a stable connected to this tavern. There. You guys did pass the stable. Not too far from here, like maybe a couple blocks down.
There's like something you could tie up your horse out front kind of thing.
Yeah. There's basically this is a city, so like doing that would be really like weird. Like people would give you weird looks. It's like, what is this country bumpkin doing tying up a horse outside my tavern? You could do it. It's just it's not gonna look good. Now, as for your cart and like horses for the cart, you would need to keep them somewhere. There is a separate stable that, all in all, if you guys wanted to like keep them, like what do you guys got? 4 horses total?
4 horses and 1 damaged cart.
One damaged cart.
If you just wanted to house all of those things for like one night, basically per night, you're looking at the equivalent of 1 gold per night, basically for all of that.
We need to sell this ale. I don't think I have any gold left.
I got plenty.
All right, so I'm gonna stop the cart and make arrangements with the owner of the stable to have the cart put away, the horses fed and rubbed down, for 3 nights. Pay in advance.
Very well. Yep. Quick and easy transaction. They take the cart and the 3 gold up in advance, and they offer, it's like, if you like, we see it's kind of damaged, we could fix it up. And we can give you the bill at the end because we don't know how much it'll cost. Would you like us to, or would you leave it at this?
Go ahead and start work. Please go ahead and start work on the wagon and just let us know. Let us know the cost of the repair before you start.
Yeah, we'll let you know. To like not have to do that later in the game. Like all in all, like to do everything, it'd be a total of like 5 gold pieces, including the 3 gold pieces you're dropping right now. So 5 total.
Do it. Let's do it. I take my coin purse out. I drop in the gold. I look at the others. Nod.
What a noble man.
Yes.
There you go. you guys got that settled there. So your horses and carriage and everything all set up, and they're gonna fix it to be brand spanking new.
I'm gonna
And
grab our 2 casks of our iron oak ale out of it. Gotta go sell that.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So
You grab
still,
one, I grab the other.
yeah, because they're heavy as hell. You guys
Roll
stroll
down the road here.
the Wounded Warg Inn with big casks of ale. Basically, everyone kind of looks over at you guys, and they kind of go back to doing what they're doing. You see some people are playing different like dice games. One set of people playing domino game in the corner. The bar has like maybe 6 people or so at it. The bartender looks like there's 2 bartenders, and they're moderately busy, but they notice you guys, and one of them kind of like hails you over because they notice the cast and like, okay, that's weird. You see, it's a woman. She is just a little bit shy of 6 foot. She's got straight black hair, but it seems to be braided tightly and tucked into a shirt, so it's not getting in the way of her work or anything like that. And she looks like they both, her and the other person at the bartender are in some kind of like, looks like a uniform for the establishment where they're both wearing red and black clothes, like black pants and red shirt, basically. And she looks over at you folks and is like, "Whoa, oh there! I don't remember requesting any more drinks. How can I help you boys out?"
I'll walk up. I'll plant the cast down and be like, I got a proposition for you here. I can make you the most prominent tavern in Ulu.
Another salesman. All right, buddy. It's
No.
getting close to my busy time right now.
I'm not a salesman. This, and he slapped the cast again. This is a salesman.
Make a persuasion check. It would have been with disadvantage, but I like the line, so it's going to be regular.
That's an 11.
Roll insight. Look, buddy, like I said, maybe their stuff is great, but I'm just maybe half an hour away from my rush hours, so
Well,
maybe make another time.
tell you, if your rush hour is coming, you sell this stuff, you could sell it at even 2 gold a mug, and it'll pay for itself. We just brought this all the way down from Mako.
Up. It was a long way up.
Mako.
That's how much of it we've already had to drink. It's so good you can't tell up from down.
Yeah.
The other bartender looks like significantly younger, but like a young man, maybe in his early 20s, maybe related to the lady, not 100% sure. Looks over and is like, yeah, Mako. They're like a small town down south. They're mainly like lumber work. Come on, we should try it. And I was like, hey, come on. I was like, we got a taste, right? Before we buy
Oh,
it.
yeah. First taste is always free.
The lady starts, all right, fine. I'll give it a taste. And they pull out like shot glasses, basically. And they set it up, they tap it and everything. Well, they probably had like a cork or whatever. But yeah, they pour 2 little shot glasses worth. They both take a swig. Let me roll. All right. The kid doesn't like it. The kid's like, "Oh, that's too hard." The 20-year-old guy is like, "Ooh, that's." I don't agree, but the lady drinks it. Okay, it's got some good flavor to it. Yeah, it's relatively local. You said it's just from a place down the mountain, Mako.
And no one makes it better. You will have the best ale this continent if you buy this.
Okay. You know what? It's the weekend. I need some more casks. How much are you asking for them? And then if they sell well, maybe we can set something up.
What did we pay for them? Out of character, what did we pay for them?
That's a good question.
I thought we paid 10 gold per cask.
But then she gave us 1 for free, because I think we tried to persuade her to give us 1 for free.
Right.
She gave you 3 casts basically, 1 for you guys, and then 2 for like selling or whatever. But you only paid, I think, if I recall, 20 gold, 10 each.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then she asks how much. I'll be like, well, I'll tell you this. I bought these for 60 gold, but I can cut you a deal. I will give you these 2 casks for 30.
That's a deception for sure. Roll deception.
I'm losing money. I'm losing money on this. Come on.
Roll deception with advantage because you've already done some prep work. Oh.
That is a 25.
Yo, I got no poker face. I rolled a 1 on my insight. This lady's like, okay.
What a deal.
30 gold? Let's see here. Yeah. Tawa, go get the chest. Yeah, he's like, are you sure? Yeah, go get. I said go get the chest. He's like, okay. He goes to the back. He brings out a chest. He starts pulling out 3 bags. Each bag jingles a little bit, and she puts them out. Like each one of these has 10 gold pieces in it. So fair deal.
I'll snatch those up, just hook them to the belt, and be like, I'll be back at the end of the day. We'll probably want to reorder.
Okay. Sounds good. And she they take the cast, they set them up right there. And what's it called?
They call it Iron Ale. Hold on.
It's called Iron Ale, yeah.
Yeah, Iron Ale.
I was like, okay. They make a makeshift, like they set them up for the thing, and then like make a quick makeshift sign, and they slap it up on it. It's like new special on Iron Ale. Shot going 1 silver piece per shot. So they're gonna make their money back.
Hey, Colburn.
Yeah.
Just between you and me, right? Just between you and me.
I'll toss up all 3 and be like, I don't know what you're talking about, and walk out.
All right, I'm ratting you out, man.
Who paid for those? Wasn't it Hoyt who dropped all those cash on those things?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I walked out
That's
before
mine.
she could get it from me.
Yep. So it's my investment.
But aren't we setting up a trade thing with them?
Well,
That hasn't been negotiated yet.
Yeah. That's why I said I'll come back at the end of the night, because then I'll
I'm like,
take the rest of my
we
pitch.
are.
So did you just walk out with the money?
Yeah. Well, a table. I'll walk to a table, I guess.
Okay.
I am right on his. I'm right behind him.
I'll go plop down at a corner table, like Strider style, just kind of.
All right, let's go. We need to go ahead and just split this now.
All right.
Actually, that brings up a good point. Where are the rest of you guys? Those 2 went to the bar. They started doing that. Where are the rest of you?
I'm setting up.
Well, we know Dennis is over there wheeling and dealing to get the cart fixed.
No, I can't. We all walk together to the
Yeah.
the Worgen. Yeah, we're all there.
We'll be turning our horses too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna follow those 2 because so far I've been paying for this trip out of pocket, repairs, supplies. So, I'm coming up. They're sitting at the bar. I come between them and I thump my staff down. I pull out my coin purse and I toss it down onto the bar and go, "It's time to resupply the mission."
I think so.
No, I know so. So far, out of my pocket, I've resupplied this wagon, the supplies for 10 days. I just covered the cost of the repairs and the horse's care.
Hey, Colburn, did you order any of that?
I didn't order that. I mean,
I didn't order any of that.
you need to fix your pockets. Go see a tailor, man.
I ordered Iron Ale. That's all I ordered.
I dropped.
Okay.
I just put 3 gold on the table.
I look over at Maxwell and go, "Thanks, buddy."
There you go.
So I'm going to motion the barmaid over. And I pull out a gold coin and I toss it to her and say, "Keep these 2 gentlemen's drinks full for the rest of the night."
Iron ale, please.
I mean, this only covers so much of that Iron Ale. That's like 10 shots. That should be
10
enough.
shots is good. Is a good start.
I'll be like, actually, you know what? I'll just pull out my own glass bag. Can you just put it in here? All of it? All 10?
All right, yeah. Basically,
I need a refill.
each one of you get 5 shots worth.
I'll click it to Hoy and be like, another fun night.
It'll be a lot more fun once you get my money.
You guys are gonna get
Our
hammered
money.
before you have to negotiate a deal later tonight. Like,
That's the plan.
I don't know. This is only 5 shots. We were having like bugs worth of it in Mako.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I like. She's trying to make way more money off of it than like the people down at Jamaica were making off of it. She's like, this is strong enough to be considered a shot worthy.
Maybe these high altitude people expect some more.
Yeah, exactly. Right? They don't have enough oxygen as it is. So.
They get enough tourists up here. It's a lot more lightweights that are coming from outside of the mountain. These mountain folk, they're like hardy. They don't they just drink
Lightweights and
plain
light
alcohol. So, night goes on. You guys hang out, drink, eat, and the tavern here gets pretty full. Not like slammed or anything like that. There's some live music. So a dude with a guitar just starts like singing. Does like has like a set total of an hour. He's working for tips basically. All in all, night goes by. Everyone has a decent time. Is there anything you guys want to do within like that 4-hour period, or are you skipping straight to the
How drunk
negotiation?
are they by midnight?
So your
Are we at
question,
midnight?
you guys want to be by midnight, by like end of the night?
How drunk are Holt and Colburn?
Now, I'm pretty good. I mean, we probably drank the equivalent of a single mug, and we had like a dozen of them the other night. So,
We had like a
you know,
cask.
I'm feeling
Yeah,
good
you,
right
guys,
now. So.
you guys are saying that you're not drinking more than like basically what got
No,
paid for there.
no,
Huh, maybe one more round of that.
we can't afford more than that. Not at these prices.
I
Yeah.
can. I just made 30 gold. I can play it.
Hold on.
Out
You
of
made
character,
60
I was hoping to get them liquored up and, get some compensation for supplying
No.
the trip.
She only paid me 30. I didn't get. I told her I paid 60 when we actually paid 20.
Correct, I know that.
I thought
But
you
you're
said
holding
we were
30.
paid 60 per barrel.
I
And we
told
got
her
30 gold each.
I told her we paid 60 for those barrels, but I'll give it to her for 30. Even though
Right, you lied.
we only actually paid 20.
Is that what you heard, Sam? Because I'm pretty sure.
No, that's how we say it. So you guys got a total of 30 gold, period, right?
So
And
we made 10 gold profit.
10 gold profit. Yeah,
We made 10.
I made 10 gold profit. That's all my profit.
basically.
You didn't pay
yeah.
me anything, so
No, Lord.
Yeah.
Colbert.
In dollar bill transference in Thermia, that's like a grand profit, basically.
yeah, you need to go ahead and fork that over.
He did. He gave you all 3 bags, like right off the bat.
He gave me
No,
nothing. He
I
still
didn't
has
say
all
that.
3 bags.
No,
He got me all 3 bags.
I thought you threw them to him.
I tossed them all up and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I tossed them and caught it myself.
Okay,
That's why
you
I'm
guys.
trying to get money.
I mean, you guys all saw it basically. Like, there was a transaction. He got money, and no one got any money. So, like, clearly, you all know. So, if you guys want to have the discussion, go right ahead.
Well, there's no discussion for anyone else. I fronted the 20 gold, so the whole profit is mine. And Adam,
Alright.
I will gladly, pay you for the cart repairs since, but I have to
They
get
pay
my
you
money
Tuesday
back.
for a hamburger.
Colburn.
All right, listen. That's true. You fronted it. But that's just because you didn't have the smarts to walk out. Hey,
That's not how this works.
That argument is entirely
it worked for me. It worked for me.
No.
No.
I'll tell you what. I like you. We've been through some serious stuff together. So I'll drop one of the bags of 10 coins. I don't know, be like, first, you have the problem.
I want my 20 gold. You can keep the profit because you assisted us in getting up the mountain. That's pure profit for you. You funded nothing.
All right, tell you
At
what.
this point,
We'll split it 50-50.
And I will still
since
pay for the repairs.
We'll split it 50-50 since I made the sales pitch.
You made a shitty sales pitch. That's why we only got 30 gold.
Had more than we paid for it.
which you get all 10 of. So I'll take my 20, and I will pay for the help. I will help pay for the repairs in the cart, which you won't have to do this
Tell
time.
you what. We'll split it 50-50, and I'll take the extra 5, purely because I made sure you didn't get ripped in half by a hack.
At this point, I'm gonna thump my staff down really hard on the ground and look at both of them and go, if I recall, there are 3 other members in this party who helped bring those barrels up there, including me, the driver. Not only protection from Maxwell and his associate, but that goes to be split evenly among us.
I think about halfway through this speech, I've had some drinks. About halfway through this, I'm going to whip my dagger so it lands point down in between his legs. So it kind of catches his attention.
Okay.
Be like,
So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my revolver and load an iron load into it and spin that sucker and go, I know what you are.
Are you saying that to Colburn?
I'm saying that to Colburn.
Gotcha.
At this point, I look at Maxwell and motion him over. Like,
We're clearly a little drunk at this point. Maybe a little bit more drunk than we think we are.
At that point, you all hear just like this huge crack, boom, from the bar, and that lady who was so nice to you earlier starts yelling, "Who the fuck said you could pull a gun in my bar?"
I'll pick up the dagger, like really discreetly, put it back, and be like, yeah, man, what the frick you doing?
If you guys want to fight, go outside and kill each other out there. But you're not messing up my joint.
I look at Maxwell and nod to the owner, the female owner, and kind of like wink, like, do your magic.
What do you want me to do?
So seductive.
Oh, I can do that.
It's time to lay your those velvety
charm.
pipes upon her.
It's like a nearly 6-foot woman with a huge like oak cudgel in her hand and just beat it up on the bar.
I slide over to the bar.
Not a good time, little man.
You seem like a pet person. You want to pet me tonight?
You'll just see me stand up in the corners.
And of course, I'm all angry, but at this point, I'm trying not to laugh and still look angry.
I have changed my voice box to where I can purr a little bit.
I just do this. Just
The noble's just drinking his wine.
yeah. Like,
She just looks at you confused. Not a good time. And she like gives you all the eye. It's like, no violence in my joint. And she goes back to like serving people.
So nobody else in the group knows you're an asthma, right? It's just me because nobody was down there when you changed. Right? Okay.
I was. But I was also in wolf form too, so.
All right. So in Celestial, I'm going to lean in close. I still have my gun kind of sitting in my lap. And I'm just going to say to you, look, we've been getting along great. That doesn't have to change. I know what you are. They don't need to know what you are. I know that's a secret you're trying to keep for now. Just give me my 20 gold, and we'll give each of them 1 gold, and you keep the rest. That's a big profit for you. You don't have to be a jerk about this. We're traveling together. We're going to make a lot more money together. And you'll probably screw me out of a lot more gold.
And I'll get serious. Colbert's been a pretty lighthearted guy, so then he'll get serious. And as he leans into you, you'll see his eyes black over again. In Celestial. Listen, I know your past too. We'll split it 50-50.
What of my past do you know?
I know why you hunt.
There are a few that know that, and even fewer that are still alive.
Let's say
This
we
is a discussion for another time.
15-15. We'll leave it there.
This is the last dealings I'll have with you. I'll take my 15. You pay everyone else. And I walk out. Holster my gun.
So Hoyt walks out. There was like an exchanging of some money there. There's still, so all that's left is Colburn, and then with Adam, Willow, and Maxwell just kind of like seeing that after a fight over money. So you guys go ahead and react as you feel.
Keep in mind the whole conversation was in Celestial.
Yeah. I mean, she understood it.
Oh,
I did.
But we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of character question. I'm guessing that this city is all powered, correct? Like, we're
The majority of the city seems to be lit up. There are like street lights pretty much everywhere except for like the outskirts and like the slums and stuff like that. Seems to be have some form of electricity going through it, be it magically generated or otherwise. But yeah.
Okay.
So there are like street lights and stuff like that.
Do we have industry of some sort here too? Like we have big buildings of stuff, or no?
It's not like skyscrapers, but like industry-wise, yeah, like I said, tallest buildings here are like 5 to 8 stories, which is pretty decent.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of city where you could find nearly any kind of like sector of industry you were interested in. If there's something in particular you're looking for, or
No.
well,
I mean, this is kind of what I am looking for.
yeah, this actually might be like the first major city you've been in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the major cities in Calusa where you're from are very different than this. They're very still naturalistic.
Yeah.
This is like legit, like closer to like a New York City type deal on the small end. But yeah.
Okay. Well, with that kind of knowledge, then I hadn't been drinking or anything, so I motioned to Willow. I pretty much let them have their discussion. That's between them. I look at Adam and I'm like, I just shrugged my shoulders. I motioned for Willow to follow me, and we go out into the streets. Can I roll perception to see if anyone's around that's within earshot?
You wouldn't need to, unless you like you can tell you can go into like an alley over here and you'd be out of earshot from pretty much everybody.
Okay.
Not in the street, but like just go like down a side alley real quick.
I'm gonna are you following?
You want to buy a watch?
We go into the alley and I tell her this is kind of what we're looking for here, isn't it? This seems to be part of the destruction of our world. The nature, the beauty is gone here.
It looks like.
Oh, no, you're not speaking loud enough. Hold on. All right, try again.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like the machines took over there's no scenery, not much plant, nature life.
I feel like we need to find what's at the heart of this.
Yeah, I agree.
And with that, we'll go back to the group.
All right. Adam, how are you feeling? What are you doing right now after everyone kind of like walked out with you and Colburn here?
So I pretty much look at Colburn. I take the seat that Holt had near him. I kind of glance at him and go, "What was that all about?"
Some ancient stuff. Tell you when you're older. They'll kind of wink.
Older. Is there anything that's gonna hurt this group or me, or affect it?
That depends what Hoyt thinks he knows.
That's troubling. So, about the gold that you got, I pull out my coin purse and toss it down on the table. I believe you owe us some repairs, Cops.
Yeah, the energy to do this twice. And I'll just drop a couple gold pieces in his bag.
Thank you. We're square.
And toss him a third one for paying for the drinks. Be like, I don't know debts.
Apparently you do. Now with that, I ask the barkeep for a room and go upstairs.
I love the idea that like Saman and Mosi are just like at a table right behind you guys and just like this is awkward.
They're looking at each other and going, and we thought we had problems.
Yeah, it's quite literally.
He's like trying to get by. Like, can we get out?
It's like, should we go upstairs with here? I don't know. So yeah, we'll fast forward a little bit. Everyone kind of does their own little thing for a minute. You go upstairs. Saman and Mosi end up, are you just getting a room for yourself, or like just for yourself? Or are you planning on, doing the thing where like all the PCs do and they split rooms and stuff?
I'll pay for the NPCs.
Cool. So Saman and Mosi go with you. Very uncomfortable. And the night draws near. The owner of the establishment comes up, introduces herself. She's like, "Hey, never Chaska. I run this place, obviously. But hey, your barrel sold out. I legit sold all of it. That's wild."
Well, I'm sorry. What was her name again?
Chaska.
Joss.
Who's she talking to? Just all of us, or?
Talking to whoever would be at the bar around closing time.
That would be me sitting at the bar.
I'll be sitting. I'll be sitting at the other end.
I lost 5 gold.
So definitely Hoyt and Colburn. What about Maxwell? I know you went back inside, right? And I don't know about
Maxwell's
Willow
looking for his next victim.
Yeah. So basically everybody except for Adam and Adam and the NPCs.
My mind is elsewhere right now.
Yeah.
He's on the prowl.
Not here. I'm on the prowl for something else here.
Well, but to us, we just think you're on the prowl.
He's trying to get some booty from the owner. That's the payment he wants. So she's like, "Oh no, that went really well." And yeah, I'm definitely interested in establishing a line of this if it's going to sell this good every time.
My offer still stands. I wait.
Make a persuasion check. Towards the end of the night. Let's see you trash this rope.
Bow, chicken, bow.
15.
Look at that, 15, huh? All right.
Uh-oh.
She she looks over at you. Looks over there. See, is this guy with you all?
I look over at Colburn. He showed up with us. I'm not responsible for his actions.
What's your name, pet boy?
My name is Maxwell.
Maxwell. Okay. She looks around the bar. Make sure that the other bartender's not around. All right, Maxwell. I'm in room 1. You can come over there in about 2 hours.
That's what I'm sitting there in the corner doing that, looking at him, raising a little glass, going.
You have to go around the back.
Ah, my lady. We can sit right here and have a drink.
Then goes right back to business.
We can sit right here and have a drink. We don't have to. I'm not.
Oh no, I don't got time for that. I don't got time for that.
Ah, well, that's fine.
If you're not interested, it's cool. I got other options.
Oh no.
Oh.
Definitely interested. My lady.
She knows what she wants. So yeah, you guys, business.
So,
So what's
at
the
this point, we're like 4 seats apart. I'm going to go ahead and kind of, I've had some whiskey and other stuff I've paid for at this point, and so I'm going to go ahead and move down 1 seat between us now. I don't want to get too close to him.
Yeah,
And I
because
just kind of look at her and go, he does the negotiating, but I get paid.
Okay.
yeah, Colburn hasn't been himself since they're little fat. He's actually just kind of looks like he's kept himself because he's kind of a little peeved at what Hoyt said about knowing what he is. So he's just sitting there like twirling a pretty foreign-looking coin in his fingers. That Hoyt you'd probably recognize as being pre-war, where
So, yes, I'm since my perception's so high, I'm fully aware of what he's doing over there.
and he's just silent. He doesn't even respond to you. Say he does all the nothing. Clearly out of character for how you've known Colbert the last 2 weeks.
All right. So what is this? Silent treatment? It's not a great business tactic at the moment, since I want to do business. But if this was just a one and done deal, that's fine too. Made me some money. He's just talking to both of you guys, basically. Because he's not aware of the struggle you guys are going through.
He'll pipe up for like it's real solid. That gets paid. He can deal with it.
All right.
We've been willing to make another trip for you, but no more discount. As you said, we paid 60 gold for those barrels. That's 30 gold apiece.
That's fair. 60, so 30 gold apiece. I definitely make my money back on that either way. It's not a bad market, not a bad margin. Okay. How about, are you guys the owners of the drink, or you guys just you just ran it up here?
We'll just say we're the distributors. We'll leave it at that.
All right. Well, I guess my question would be: are you willing to get an established, like, consistent shipment set up? And maybe it's not you guys doing the running, but could you make that happen?
We could definitely negotiate a consistent. That's
Okay.
That's part of what we were sent up here to do.
Okay. How about this? I'll give you guys. She goes downstairs. Not downstairs. She goes down under the counter. Comes up with a few bags. I'll give you lump sum 200 gold pieces. Okay. Now those 200 gold pieces are for, let's call it, it's 30 a barrel.
Be 6 barrels.
No. Let's call it 4 barrels. All the extra is for your effort, right? I want these things to arrive back to me safe and unharmed, right? So I'm willing to pay you guys to make sure that happens. She comes up. She makes a contract kind of deal with like a stub, with like a receipt stub. Basically, you guys will take this half. I'll keep my half. Right? You deliver this to the brewer, right? And if it can get back to me within a certain time frame, and we can keep that up within whatever we negotiate, that'll work out for me. Basically, I'll give you, and this first amount here is 200 gold pieces. The profits from that, I'm just going to give it to you, so you'll make an immediate profit. So after I get the shipment returned to me safe and sound, the first shipment safe and sound, you guys will be free and clear from my end, and I'll give you an additional 50 gold pieces.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll set up a supply line. Deliveries will be twice a week. 1 week to go down, 1 week to come back. That'll give you a shipment every two weeks.
Actually, now that I think about it, it only took you guys a day to come up here.
She don't know that. She don't know that. So you want to do what? You want to say 1 week? We'll say 1 week. We can do a shipment every once a week.
Big order, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll do 1 shipment a week, and that'll be here in time for your weekend festivities.
Perfect, yeah. Mm-hmm. So on this one, your profits are like what, 80 gold pieces, and then on the back end, it'll be 50 gold pieces there. And then she doesn't know about this part, but then you get free drinks at that other establishment. That's your life.
That is correct for the rest of our life. All right, then we have an accord.
Right? Sign on the dotted line. She gives you a piece of paper. She takes the other half of the paper. If you come back and you don't have this piece of paper, I don't owe you anything.
All right. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and tuck that in, and I'm going to keep it where my teddy bear head is.
Fair. And she gives you guys the money, so you guys have 200 gold pieces right there.
Deal. All right.
So much everything is present for that.
I'm going to slide over that one more seat next to Colburn. You're not the only one that can negotiate. You asthma bastard.
He'll kind of give an eye, drop that foreign-looking coin, and be like, "Here's a tip," and he'll walk up and go to his room.
Do you have your staff with you?
Always.
So as you're walking away, I'm going to see that inscription on it. Again, that's an inscription celestial, right?
Yep.
So I read it, and as I'm sitting there reading it, I'm sitting there reading it, and I'm starting to recollect things. And I say out loud to you, born of blood, forged in fire, raised in heaven she was born. Oh, from the fire she carries inside her, she fights and shines her light on the world. Who are you? Colbert, who are you?
At this point, because after you read that first line, is when the staff that he pretty much uses it as a walking stick, Gandalf style, erupts in flame, pure white flame, and he kind of looks back at you and be like,
"Fire hazard! Get that shit out!"
he's quick. He just slides his hand down the whole thing and immediately gets rid of the flame before he turns to look at you. Be like, "How'd you know that?"
Colbert, let's go for a walk. We need to talk. Go outside, and I'll start to relay to you how this poem came down in my family, and this poem was passed down to me by my mother, and I used to read it to my sister. I'll recite it to her every night. The pain that I carry, Colburn, I lost my sister so many years ago. It's what drove me into the war. It's what drove me in to shamefully, it's what drove me to drive your kind out. I took all that anger, all that hate that I had for losing my sister, and I've been searching. These last 20 plus years, I've been searching for the monster that ripped her from my hands. All I have left is this head of this bear. It's all I have left of her. But this poem, I haven't thought of it in so many years. My mother, we lost our parents when we were younger. It was another unfortunate incident, but her name was Sina, and she raised us with this poem as a way to inspire us to be more every day, to be filled with hope. And that's all I wanted from my sister until I lost her. But you have that inscription on your staff. Why?
I've only heard that poem twice in my life. Once, just now, you. The second time Probably roughly 60 years ago. From your mother.
You knew my mother?
There's
my mother would not consort with your type. You are so filled with darkness and anger and disdain for human life, and
It wasn't always. I wasn't always this way. Once I was light, I was good, I was right. Things happen. Wars happen, people fall. That stretches beyond humanity. Good and evil is in every race, every type of being. Sometimes the evil's pull is stronger, and if you saw the things I did in that war, evil seemed like the only way to go. That's when it approached me. It made sense. It talked and told me what I needed to hear. I've fallen ever since.
I've seen you commune with this fiend. I've often wondered if it had a hold on you.
Not so much a hold as an invitation.
We have borne so much loss over these years, over these weary travels of ours. It seems we have far more in common than we believed. I understand you more than I did before. I'm sorry I threatened to tell the others of what you are.
I know what you hunt. I know why you hunted. And I know, before me, what it did to you. But you have to know that what's inside me does not mean I am what is inside me.
This is all too much.
This inscription, and he'll point to it again, this inscription, I thought of it again because I was very, very close to your mother. And it's the last time I ever had a friend. Until now. That is why I have this inscription. Back at the Hog Heaven Inn, we were born in blood. Through our journeys, we've been forged in iron. Our group, all of us. Even the new guy.
New guy. What a noble ass he is.
He's grown on me.
Oh, this whole group has grown on me.
Seems
the
like we got
melancholy that I feel most days has been abated. It's lessened, but this fiend that's within you, that is something we will have to deal with. Maybe not tonight, but I cannot continue to travel with that fiend. It has cost me so much pain.
Well, since we're on the topic of honesty here, I see in that bounty scroll you carried around. 60 years is a long time to deal with a demon. I mean, I may not... I may look, the average age human, but 110 years old, man. And I've done a lot of shady stuff since I've welcomed this thing. But I've done it under an alter ego. Alter ego that I use called Garner Coerced.
It is you I've been after. I knew I followed you to that inn. I lost your scent. You are a crafty one. I do admire that. You have tricked me at every turn. There are few in this world that can do that. So few.
Lived as long as I have.
Redemption is around the corner for any man willing to look for it. Any man that wants it, it's there. It's redemption you choose, redemption you seek. My friend, I will stay by your side until you've found it. And maybe along the way, I might find some of my own.
Appreciate it. I don't know if I'm ready to round that.
Until that day, you have my gun. And my coin, apparently.
You have my staff.
What a mighty staff that does seem to be. Let us get some rest. This is
On that
too much
topic.
emotion
On that
to
topic.
handle.
Let's not utter the phrase anymore.
I'll make sure I speak that in, common
Please,
tongue.
Appreciate it.
We'll
But yeah,
keep that to ourselves either way.
we should probably head back in. After the little spat we had, they'd probably think one of us killed the other one. So.
Oh, by the way, here's your cut. I toss you a bag of 50 gold coins.
Appreciate it, but you negotiate.
Fair enough. I toss back the other coin that you gave to me.
Surprised you didn't say more about this. Save that for a different.
Indeed.
On that note, everyone goes back to their respective rooms. Except for you go to someone else's respective room. You go to someone else's respective room and have a certain kind of entertainment that night. It may be rougher than you're into.
That depends what form he takes.
Bear form.
Gorilla.
By the way, everybody gets an inspiration for all of this. Hoyt and Colburn, great role playing against each other, fantastic. Adam, fantastic. You asserting yourself and instituting, showing your personality to them. It's fantastic. So add an inspiration point to that.
Yeah, who the fuck do you think you are, man?
Obviously, Maxwell and Willow will also get inspiration for your little bit of role play and for your finally succeeding. I rolled. She was into it.
We are all inspired by you, Maxwell.
And just so everyone,
Real man of genius.
Just so anyone who's viewing, I don't think as a DM that just because someone succeeds at a persuasion check, they can have sex with an NPC. That NPC is particularly into it. I'm not saying that you can do whatever you want with a successful persuasion roll. That's not how this game works. It just happened to work at that time. I just want everyone to know that.
I'll edit in a disclaimer.
No, I don't mean it as a disclaimer. I just don't want people to think I'm a bad DM.
Some content in this episode may be too much for younger viewers.
I still want to know what your statement was.
All NPCs and their free will.
That's like an old D&D meme where the bard can have sex with anybody because he has a high persuasion check. I'm like, that's not the situation. He rolled well, she rolled, she was into it. So she wasn't looking for hanging out.
Views expressed in the session that reflect those three girls' entertainment. I should have gone with. That's like the beginning of every ABC Family show. Literally every single ABC Family show starts with that. We're a Christian organization, so we don't believe in anything that's happening on this TV show. We're gonna show you anyway.
Exactly. Oh man. So we'll fast forward. Morning breaks. It is a crisp cold morning. Yes, sir. What's up?
Question. Did they cut that deal without me, Maxwell, and Willow?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Maxwell and Willow were present. They saw it. Like, they saw the transaction. They saw the money. Right? Maybe Maxwell might have been slightly distracted by the idea that he was about to go to Pound Town. But, like, I keep forgetting that this is going to go on tabletop stats, and I'm like, wait, this is not supposed to sound like.
No, you're good. This one isn't specifically associated with tabletop dance. I don't put their logo in there, so you're good.
And
Those
for the
dudes turned this entire party into basically rum runners.
yeah. I mean, it's not prohibition time, but yeah, basically.
Pretty much.
And they're collecting all the profits.
Hold on. I haven't had a chance to do anything with those profits
Okay,
that you don't know about yet.
I wanted to know where we stand, so continue, DM. I'm sorry.
Right now, we
Let's
stand
do
with me
that.
having a pocket full of unspecified amount of gold.
By the way,
Here.
no, it's a great point. Let's take a quick break. And just so you guys know, in the chat, I put a picture. It's a pretty close approximation of what I feel like the city might look like at night. Just so you guys can get in the mind space. But yeah, let's go take a quick 5-10 minute break. We'll be back.
All right.
You guys did some bartering and arguing over the night. There was some strong role play. But now it is morning time. You all have been awakened by the city, the sounds of the city kicking into life, the sounds of cars going up and down the street. There's not a whole bunch of vehicles here, but there are enough to notice. They're like Model T Ford style, like Magitech cars going up. Oh, excuse me. I drank a bubbly drink. No, I'm perfect. Yeah. Going up and down the street, you hear the sounds of like magical engines and blacksmithing and all kinds of stuff. The city has awakened, and you guys are in your adjoining rooms. Most likely, split two or three rooms. The cost of which is in effect is null against the amount of money you guys gained over. So we'll say it was like part of the deal. So yeah, you guys all awaken, and yeah, what do you guys want to do?
I'll find mostly the well. Suppose we should probably get this helmet thing done, right?
Whoa! Can we have some breakfast first? I'm a little famished after last night.
Mostly is already stress eating. She's got like all these carbs in front of her. She's like, yeah, breakfast. Sorry, big day. And,
all right, so
I'm downstairs already.
I'm sitting down so I can eat next to Mosi. Where's Saman? Is he there with us?
Yeah, he's there. He's on the opposite side of the table. Yeah, you guys are all at one big table, basically.
I'm also eating breakfast.
Oh.
All right.
Cool.
So just to give you guys a recap of what happened last night, we were able to broker a deal to deliver some more ale. I would like for y'all to be a part of this. It's turning out to be fairly lucrative, it looks like. Are y'all in? Do y'all want in?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pocket the 50 gold since it's in a separate bag now. I'm gonna bring out the big bag of 200 gold. All right, so I got 200 gold for our contract. I'm going to set aside.
That's the 200 gold though that we have to give to her to pay for the barrels.
Well,
Oh,
but
extra.
no.
Hold on. The
Go ahead.
50 gold hasn't been paid out. That's upon return, right? So,
You're right.
yeah.
Okay.
The 200 gold, yes. That X amount of that is supposed to go for purchasing, right? But she
Right.
gave you some right now. You can do what you want with it.
Okay. So we paid 10 gold a barrel, and so I'm going to tell everyone else and kind of give Colburn a little sly over there. All right, so we paid. I need to set aside 80 gold for the barrels that I'm going to get, that we're going to buy, and we'll split the other 120 between the 5 of us. Does that sound acceptable to everybody? As it is, it's free gold for y'all right now. But this won't get paid out until after we actually get back down and get the second supply of ale.
Now, I wouldn't necessarily say free gold. We had to work to get those first barrels here, my friend.
You're right.
Maxwell's
You're right.
absolutely correct. We
Yeah.
almost lost the wagon to trolls.
So I'm going to go ahead and pay y'all half of the amount now. That way, that'll cover everything we've already done so far, and then the other half after we've delivered the first shipment of ale. Does that sound fair?
When did you broker this deal?
Oh, this was after some late night drinking and some late night winking from Maxwell, and
After you, before she left Maxwell.
yes.
Oh, Maxwell, you fly dog. Congratulations, finally.
That's where you were last night.
So you
All right,
talked
so-
to suppliers. We're suppliers now.
This is a single job. It's a single job.
We'll set up a
We're gonna
trade.
broker
We'll set
the
up a
deal,
trade
yeah.
run when we get back.
We're gonna set up the route for them.
Are we going to hire people to take over once we do our one-time deal?
That
her
I'm
job.
gonna leave. We'll do the first one, and then we'll let them make the shipments after that.
We'll just take a broker's percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Can the
Exactly.
wagon that we have hold the amount of barrels that we need to provide?
The first shipment's going to be 4 barrels, so we should be able to comfortably see
We're
those in
good.
there.
We're good. We might want to think about better defense. I mean, we almost lost the wagon to the trolls.
I was actually contemplating this last night. When we make it back down the mountain to Mako for this shipment, I mean, we come into some money. If we find a way for them to coat the wagon in some of that iron oak.
That seems like a very good idea. They seem to have said that iron oak was very solid. I feel like that was a good idea. It would sturdy up our wagon, and it would make our trip a whole lot better. I feel, no matter what the cost would be, I feel like we'd benefit from it in the long run.
Do we have the amount of horses to hold that weight? I mean, I haven't held a piece of iron oak yet. How heavy is it? Does anyone know?
I'll hand him the staff and be like, "Here."
Seems pretty hefty. Maybe we should get some more horses.
I feel like 2 should be able to carry the weight.
Well, maybe we. I doubt they use horses that often at the south too. Maybe we can see what kind of pack animals they use to pull their stuff around here.
Well, I do know how to drive a motor vehicle. Or a magic stick vehicle. Sorry.
I look at Willow.
Never been in one of those before.
Oh, they're quite fun and lovely. You would enjoy it.
Wait. He doesn't look.
Let's see what say something.
Like, well, anybody look at those, they're probably pretty expensive, and unless your noble ass is going to front that, I don't think we have enough.
I've been fronting enough.
There's our answer.
So let's make this run. Hopefully we get past the trolls.
Hey, first things first, though. We have a job to complete here.
Let's go. Yeah, we'll get back to this.
Yeah, I was gonna say mostly was about to speak up. She was like, oh, and then you said that. She's like, oh, okay. But still nervous.
In the meantime, here's 10 gold pieces each for the part that y'all have taken in helping us to set up this broker this deal.
I will snatch that bag right up and add it to my others. My coin purse is getting pretty hefty.
Okay. In that case, you guys finish up breakfast, and Mosi slowly takes you through the city to her folks' place.
Can I look around and try and figure out where power's coming from? Persuasion, maybe, or
If you're just looking,
persuasion. Perception.
yeah, you can do perception, sure. If you guys if either of you are proficient in Arcana, you could also roll that.
What are we doing? What are we looking at?
Oh, this is just Clint and Kristen's characters.
I have 16.
16 in perception.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She has 17.
Cool. You both pretty much spot the same stuff. The
I just want to try and tell where it's coming from, or if I can kind of trace it somewhere.
You guys notice it seems the power seems to be coming from cables, basically being routed through cables. It's like a mess, like you can see kind of from like the picture I showed you, but like it's not like straight power line type deals like you see like like we see nowadays. It's like it's more like someone set up a pole. And it's got like electricity running through a wire to that pole, and then that pole has a bunch of wires going in different directions to people's houses because the houses got built up after the fact. So there's like a mess of these dangling cables everywhere. Like as you guys are looking at it, it's like okay, so power's coming from these cables to these houses. You're not sure. These cables all go somewhere in the city. You're just not seeing where. Most likely, well, you guys aren't proficient in Arcana, so you're not even sure. Like you guys aren't even sure on the basics of like how the electricity is being made in a city like this. So, but like probably somewhere at the end of these power lines is the source of this power.
Yeah.
Okay.
For all we know, I feel like I'm thinking it's like it could be magic. Is this some kind of magic they've got going through these cables? Something like that.
Whatever it is, the poison to this land.
I'll walk up while they're staring at this pole. Be kind of look at it with them, be like, "What are you looking at?"
It's just weird, my friend. It's I mean, I come from a natural druid place. It's different to see all this gas and this other stuff just in the air and power being everywhere. And I mean, it's odd to see all these vehicles and people hustling and bustling around.
Mostly speaks up. She's like, "Oh yeah, Ulo, we really accepted the industrialization. We took to it big time, and honestly, it's really for the best. It's really increased everybody's profits." It looks a little.
I'll grasp his shoulder and be like, "The way of the world now, Maxwell. You either get with the times or you get left behind."
I don't know if that's the truth, my friend.
Look around you. Here's the truth.
Yeah. Even over at the mines, the Ulo mines, where the city was officially founded on, they accepted it. They all have Magitech. Well, in this world, it's what did I call it? No, I'll just call it Magitech until I remember what I called it. They have Magitech equipment and special techniques for mining and disposing of the unusable stone and stuff like that. It's been good for business for everybody.
How do y'all get y'all power? How is all this possible?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm not really sure. I know there's like some kind of power plant. That's like that's high level mage stuff that goes on in there. I'm pretty sure the Ulos own a major stake in it, but I think that might also be funded from some outside parties too. I'm not 100%.
This is kind of out of character. Is there like power companies
in cities that can sustain it? Yeah, it's basically a power company. Like for anyone who, I mean, in your case, you would know for sure from history, because you're of an age category where you saw it all being made. That the power there are. It's not so much power. There's power stations and stuff like that, and they're almost universally all run kind of like almost like a nuclear power plant, where the power cores are magical creatures, basically elementals and stuff like that, being sourced for their magical potency and then converted into electrical energy somehow. And that's not everywhere. That's just major cities. Just like there's long-range communication in some cities, but like there's no cross-country communication except for like trains and stuff like that. No. So yeah, she's like, yeah, it's
Now, if we wanted to see a power plant, where would we go?
if I recall, I've never been to the power plant, but I'm pretty sure it's just outside the slums, kind of like situated by up against the cliff wall. If we go to, if we actually, I'm pretty sure you could see it from my parents' place. My parents' place is actually on the cliff wall, so you can see most of the city from there.
I would love to see that.
Oh, sure.
At this point, I get a little bit impatient. I thump my staff down, and I'm like, enough with this Arcania dribble I learned when I was 12. Can we please move on?
Oh yeah, I forgot. You would know all about this stuff.
Yeah.
Not all of us are high and mighty, my friend.
And not all of us are backwater flea dogs. Can we go on?
Jesus.
I'll be like, listen, thump that staff at me one more time. We're gonna have issues.
I welcome. Let's go. And I hold out my hand.
I told you. He's an ass.
Only he knew what the staff could do.
All right, with that, you guys walk through the city. It's a bit of a walk. You guys walk for better part of an hour, like half hour, 45 minutes. Going through the city, you see most of this, how most of the city runs, stuff like that. End up going to the cliff wall, taking one of those cable carts over to up to like this section of the cliff that's like basically 45 degrees. So like, yeah, you guys are just hovering like hundreds of feet over everybody else. And from there you can see the whole city. It's just like in the picture I gave you, where it's like these old-timey structures of like smoke billowing out of all these different buildings, lots of different factories. So, you can see there's one at the base of where the cliff meets the flat part of the city. There's quite a bunch of industrial things. It looks like all of that is mining areas, like the Ulo mine. She's like pointing out, yeah, it's like the Ulo mines own all of those mining facilities across there. They were the founders of the city. So it seems like that's a big business there. And she's like, and that's the power plant way over there. See, it seems like a very large building with several smokestacks coming out of it. And you could just kind of like, anyone with any kind of like magical potential could kind of like see like a buzzing little radiance of energy coming off of it because of all the magical power stored in there. And then you guys, it lands in the cart docks. There's like a sidewalk system along the side of the cliff face that leads you to different, it looks like people have homes and stuff either built into the mountain or connected to the side of the cliff face. And she takes you to, you guys take these sidewalks. She takes you to a section that's kind of like farther away from all the other locations. It looks like the cliff wall starts being, it almost looks like farmland if you put it at like a 60-degree angle, basically, except it's not farms. It is like these huge fields of like thick spider webs. Just like, and you see some people were harvesting, like on harnesses and stuff like that, putting themselves up trying to harness these thick strands of spider webs. And it looks like it's related to something like modern day. It looks like they're harvesting like steel cable, basically. It's like how thick and tensile these things are. They're being like spooled onto these huge ropes, basically. So it's just like acres of this happening along the side of the cliff. And as you get closer, Mostly's like, yeah, that's where we farm our the spider silk to make steel silk clothes and fabrics and stuff like that. It's kind of similar to like iron oak wood, except it's like wearing metal clothes that moves like cloth. It's crazy. That's how my family made its fortune.
How much does that cost?
I was never big onto the financial part of the family business, but I'll tell you, our biggest customers are high-end merchants and like low-level royalty. So you're talking at that kind of price point.
Hey, Dom. Sounds like your kind of stuff.
And definitely not yours. It's a very interesting operation you have going here. So,
Yes, man of great words.
Oh yeah.
few words.
Oh, sorry, I thought Clint was going to say something.
Staying out of this one.
Mostly kind of like talks now to fill in the awkwardness. She's like, yeah, it's pretty interesting. We harvest eggs from, I named the creature, what is it? From Mawpox. Inside the mountain. We found a nest of them in an old, basically we bought an old mine from the Ulo family that was that they thought was out of ore. And we discovered some of these Mawpox. They eat ore and they spin, metal-like fibers and stuff like that. And that's how we made our fortune there. So we take some of the eggs. Can't really. It's hard. It's never been done taming a full feral Mawpox. So we take them as eggs, and as many, however many we can make survive, we tame them. And then they live for a few years because they don't do well in captivity, and then have to go back and get more eggs. So that's kind of like that's how we do it. As you guys, she's telling me all this as she's walking through. You see some of the workers are like looking over, and they're like, they seem to be talking to themselves. It looks like they've recognized Mosi, and she like looks around and is like, "Whoa, what happened?" And like you guys all start to see, there are like these huge, like wooden crates that look almost like cages too, kind of like the wooden cage you see in Avatar: The Last Airbender when they captured Katara and Toph. And it looks like they're completely smashed. And there's like several, like 5 of these cages just completely smashed. I was like, "Whoa, what happened?" That's where we keep the eggs and the hatchlings and stuff. Yeah, and as basically, she's just pointing it out, but no one's come outside to greet them. You guys are at basically the door of the home, which is a large, like estate-like home, just just connected by cables to the side of the cliff face. So it's literally cliff face and then just jutting out. Like there's no foundation to this home. It's just hanging by cable. And she's like, "Okay, just gotta knock on the door."
I'll step in with the staff, just knock on it real quick with the heavy staff.
Okay, I appreciate that.
I'm
much
gonna
pressure.
interject here.
Mhm.
Wait a minute. Broken cages. But what exactly are these creatures, ma'am? Are they dangerous? I mean, can you tell us more about them?
They spin webs and eat rocks. They sound like spiders to me.
Exactly.
Mawpox are dangerous.
Spiders.
The captive ones aren't very dangerous. They don't. In captivity, they only grow to be about maybe at best the size of a torso. One in the wild would be the size of like a small bedroom. So while they have the capability of like biting you and poisoning you, and the poison isn't deadly, and the ones in captivity, they're not aggressive. They're
Wild?
in the wild, they're incredibly aggressive. Hence why we take them as eggs. So they wouldn't have been able to break out of those cages, really.
The mothers never tried to come find their eggs?
Spiders are not incredibly maternal.
Can we tell if the cages were broken out of or were they broken in?
You can tell that's a very good question. It's, once you like even think about it, you're like looking at like splinters and stuff like that. Looks like they were broken into.
I suggest we proceed with caution.
It looks as though somebody broke in, not broke out. So I don't believe that your eggs went feral. I think that there might be something else at play here.
Let me ask him, Mosi. Is there anybody in town, the city? that might be against you guys capturing these motherfuckers?
Well, I don't know. We're the only soak sowers. I don't know. Like, I was never super interested in the family business. Now that I think about it, but I mean, I'm sure my mom knows. I can't really, honestly, I can't think of anybody who doesn't like us. And then Saman is just chuckling, like quiet, not like loudly. He's just trying to stifle a chuckle. And she like shoots a glare at him. It's like, and what are you laughing at? And he's just like, you literally told me you actively avoided everything about the business. You don't know anything about this business. Yeah, that's why you took the first chance you could to get out of here. And she kind of gets like red faced and angry when she doesn't deny it.
I place my hand on Mossy's arm and I go, I have a very important question right now. Do you have servants?
We have workers, which you see on in the fields right now.
What about in your home?
It's just the family. We don't have we don't have like butlers or anything like that.
So okay, because my associate here just knocked on the door and no one's answered. Should someone have answered by now?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you stopped him from knocking. But as a DM, yeah, someone would have answered by now. So literally, you guys are like in the middle of this conversation, and the door opens, creaks open, and it is a young man, maybe in his, how old is Mosi? So it's actually, young man, maybe 30, maybe just under 30. Looks very much like Mosi. He's got straight black hair, but it's cut short. He seems to be, he's not super built, he's still pretty tall. But he's got like kind of like the build of just like a tall, lanky dude, with a long, like drawn face, kind of pale, like he doesn't get very much sun. And he looks over, like he opened the door, like looked like he did that thing where he opened the door without looking, and he's just like yelling to like inside the house. He's like, "Oh, I got it, it's fine." Oh, Mosi. Didn't expect to see you back home. And she's like, yeah, I need to talk to mom. It's not a good time, mostly. Whoa, hey, who are all of you guys?
Escorts.
Paid escorts.
People are expected to get paid.
Hey, Monty, what did you get into? And she's just like, she looks up and is like, look, I made a mistake, and I don't want to say it like that, but and then he just starts basically like cracking up a little bit. It's like, mom is gonna eat you alive. It's like, I know. Can we just go inside, please? He's like, all right. Had a great time, but yeah, I mean, come on inside. You shouldn't be out there anyways. Come on, everybody. Hi. I got his name here. Shit, what's his name? There it is. My name is Misu.
Misu?
Oh, no, wrong character. Sorry. I got it right here. Tokala Magebound. You guys at this point have now realized that the second part of their name is always like a title that they've earned, right? So yeah. So when he tells you that, he's saying, "My name is Tokala, earned name of Magebound. Welcome to the Silk Sower Estate. You've came a very interesting time. Please come in." What's that?
Define interesting.
Not my place to say right now. Let me get the family. You guys go ahead and sit down. Make yourselves comfortable.
Make yourselves comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look around for the liquor shelf.
Mm-hmm. There, it takes you to the living area. There's no liquor shelf out here in the living in like the foyer. Basically, there's quite a few comfortable couches. It's pretty open air. Seems like there's not a latch or light. They got like sun. They got the sun. What are those things called? Where they let light in through the ceiling.
Skylight.
Sunlight?
Skylight.
Skylight. There's got skylights in there to let the sun in. It's very warm and cozy in here. Takala leaves, and then a few minutes later, you see an older woman in her mid 60s, basically. Her hair kind of starting to go salt and pepper, and she's got this stern look on her face. She's dressed in like nice clothes. It's not like super finery, kind of like elegant or anything like that, but she's like dressed in like what you expect from a rich family matriarch, basically. She's looking over. She's like, so, you've come back, have you? I said you would. I said I wouldn't take you back. So why did you bother? And she's come. Mosi speaks up. You were right, Mom. I'm sorry. We're gonna get the marriage annulled. Please, can we just like forget about all this? And I don't want to talk to myself, basically, but they're going back and forth on this topic, and and basically what I remember too is she, the mom, whose name is Yoki, Yoki, was against the marriage from the very beginning, right? Said that that boy was trouble, basically. And he, turns out it's true. He was just in it for the money, blah, blah, blah. And, mostly is just agreeing and basically saying it was a total mistake. And he was just, even he had good reasons to do it. It's not like he's like a swindler. But bottom line is Yoki is not having it. And then she's looking over at you all. And why are you all still here? Who are you people? Why are you in my home?
At this point, I stand up, raise myself up to a noble bearing, and step forward and do a small bow and go, greetings, madam. I am Adam Dalton. These are my associate. We kindly escorted your daughter out of danger and brought her safely to you. Now, this was a lot of work. A lot of work. And, we have done a lot for her. We have brought her out of danger. Yes, she has made mistakes. But she is yours. And children are precious.
I'm not gonna give a
Get a load
side
of this
eye.
pompous ass.
I'm gonna give a side eye to Holt when he says, you saved her, because I'm like, under my breath, I'm like, wasn't even there.
I'll give you an opportunity. You can make a persuasion check, Adam.
Last I checked, he set a forest on fire.
That we had to say.
Yeah, that's see here.
Didn't we have to save her from the fire?
Yes.
4.
We had to save her
Or-
daughter from hags twice.
We
I'm sorry, what?
What'd you get?
A 4.
Okay.
Yes. She's buying your story as much
Oh,
as
yeah.
us.
Yeah. So are we. You persuaded us, even.
Mr. Dalton, well, I'm sure it's a pleasure to meet you. I have no daughter by that name anymore. I disowned her. As he looks directly at her. I have several other children, and they are perfectly fine. While you may have done this young lady a great deal, I have no obligation to whatever she had promised you.
I'll stand up at this point. Yep, I'll interrupt her flat out. I don't care. Listen, you may not have a daughter by that name. You wouldn't have a daughter, period. We hadn't stepped in. Your daughter would be hag food right now. We had. Your daughter would still be puking of coins if I hadn't helped her. Somewhere, there's a mother's heart. How about you sit your pompous ass down and listen?
I don't want to be rude as my friend is here, but in nature, we tend to take a nature's care of things we nurture them, we raise them, and sometimes, just sometimes, the plant doesn't do exactly as we plan, or the baby bird doesn't fly just as we push it out the nest. But you still welcome it back until it's ready. You nurture it until it's ready. She made a mistake. I don't believe that should condemn her. We done as just as he said, we have protected her time and time again. I mean no disrespect, my lady, but understand that she's still your daughter.
Okay. You guys got some solid arguments here. Why don't everyone who spoke roll a persuasion check? We'll do this as a group roll here. Let's see what you all get.
God damn it.
I have a different angle I'm going to play.
I got a 9.
I got a 9.
I got 6.
Holy fuck! Did no one get anything in double digits at all? This lady,
That works perfectly for me.
I have a
So-
plus 4 to my charisma as well.
So when all three of those fail, I'm going to stand up using my insight. Look, all this aside, daughter or not, clearly y'all are going through something business-wise. We saw the busted crates outside. You know, I can see that these crates were broken into, not broken out of. Clearly, somebody has come in and either taken what belongs to y'all's property here, or not. Yes, I would like to be compensated for bringing this human life back to you. You can put her to work in the fields to earn that money back for all I care. But, you know, I see an opportunity where I can help you figure out what it is that's going on and how y'all lost this part of your business outside.
that is an interesting tactic, and especially in conjunction with that great group failure there. I'm not going to make a roll. In case you're hitting a couple buttons there. It's just so perfectly balanced. She looks. Matriarch Yoki looks at you dead in the eye. Looks over at her son. I keep forgetting his name. Takala. And you know, he kind of does like a shrug and he's like, maybe like it looks like they had a conversation with their eyes real quick. And she looks back at you all. You protected my daughter, yeah? You are competent mercenaries?
Bounty hunters.
You could use whatever
As it
you
were.
like. You're competent combatants, yes?
Yes.
We made it here alive.
Okay. Let's see. I see an opportunity here then. She looks over at Mosi. Even for you, Mosi, your escorts weren't completely wrong. I'm still a mother. But there are other matters at hand as well. She looks over directly at you, Hoyt. As you saw outside, very recently we were assaulted by trolls. They don't usually, and literally at that, Mosi speaks like, "What? They came out of the caves?" And she's like, "Yes, they came out of the caves." Jeez, it's that they've never done this before, but they've come out. They came out, maybe 6 of them came out, smashed the cages, took all the eggs, presumably to be eaten. And the Takala speaks up. Is like, it's a delicacy for trolls. They love the Mapok eggs. It's part of the reason why they come here during troll season, right? And she's like, yeah, very much. They love it. And they came in, they smashed all the eggs. Normally, it's an ecosystem. They go, they move into the cave, they eat X amount of the spider's eggs, and that's enough, and they go. They never have to come out here. It seems like they did for some reason. uh, and they smashed up all of our cages. We have no more stock for the next season. Um, we do have a backup plan though. Just come with me, and like you see Tokala kind of like getting like visibly excited, and like she takes you around back and to where a giant, basically a giant cage built into the side of the like outside of the home. It's like this huge like 20 by 20 cage, 20 by 20 by 10. Um, Super reinforced. It looks like entirely made out of iron oak. It's got this dark sheen to it, and we can no longer rely on going in and taking eggs. Normally, what we do is we go into the mountain, we take eggs, and we harvest eggs, and we do what we need to. But that has been becoming increasingly more dangerous, and if these trolls are gonna mess with the whole ecosystem, anyways, we figure we might take this to the next step and try to tame a feral, full-grown Mapok. Luckily, this mostly is like, what? We can't do that. And it's like, Tokala kind of like speaks up. Actually, I'm a fully fledged arcanist now. I'm pretty sure I could tame one. That's what I trained for. I can bind creatures to my will. I think I could do that to one if it's subdued enough. I can't do that on my own. And then Yoki speaks up, and that's where all of you might come in. You all go into the cave, do what you need to do, bring me back as many eggs as you can, and a living Mapok. Then I'll pay you handsomely. Whatever. What did she promise you? Mostly, what did you promise them? She's like 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold, mostly. It's like, I'm sorry. Okay.
Listen, we don't come cheap, man. Do you know who you're speaking to? Our job to liberate people.
Would you do it for 1,000 gold pieces then?
What we do. I mean,
looks over at her son.
It's who we are. We're the People's Liberation Army of Thermia.
No, we're not. There's no army here.
Might I suggest 1,000 for the job, plus 500 for the escort job?
I won't argue with him. The liberation effort isn't cheap.
Sorry, I just saw them scooting around down there. But
we're just liberators. We liberate people, we liberate gold, and we sure as hell liberate ale.
I should just drink 1,500 gold pieces for living specimen, for protecting my daughter, and making sure that both my children come back from this in one piece.
The PLT thanks you for your efforts. So are we doing this now?
Yeah, and just so you are 100% clear, my son needs to go with you, or else you won't be able to bring it back alive. Also, Mosi, I need you to go with them as well to prove yourself. We'll consider this a challenge. You'll earn a name, and it'll be you earning your right as inheritor again. She seems super nervous about it, but she looks over at you guys and is like, can you guys keep me alive in there?
Hey, we gotta tame a Mapok. We gotta keep your brother alive. And now we gotta keep you alive.
And collect eggs.
We've kept her alive this far.
Yeah. Well, we ain't got paid for it yet.
Someone kind of like speaks into your guys' ears. It's like, also remember, it's like 100 gold pieces per troll head.
Ooh.
I do love myself a bounty.
Deal.
It's really fun to cause.
We could do this.
I believe we can.
Okay. I believe we have a deal, says Yoki. Actually, just hold down her hand to shake.
All right.
So what's the best time to go in and do this?
It's pretty early in the morning now. The trolls are. I don't believe they're on any kind of cycle, really. They're a strange magic creature. I don't believe they have a sleep cycle. They have a rest cycle, though. And they just recently did an assault. We did harm them. So they might be resting in the cave somewhere now. So as early as possible. Do you need to get equipped with anything? Are you familiar with how to fight trolls?
Hey, any tips you have would be grateful. The last bunch of trolls we ran into, they definitely caused us a little bit of. They were definitely a thorn in our side coming up the mountain.
But no trouble. But any information that you would have regarding these creatures would be invaluable.
Takala speaks up now. He's like, well, actually, trolls are unique. They are completely immune to damage of any kind. The only things that hurt them are fire and acid.
He says fire, I'll kind of like look at Hoyt, like down my staff.
Aside from that,
I got you covered.
nothing hurts them. You can cut them up; they just regenerate. There are tales that if you cut them up, that they continue moving despite how many pieces you cut them into pieces. How many pieces you cut them into? I haven't seen that, but you never know with a troll. They're vicious things. They do have some intelligence, though. But yes, the only real true weapons against them are fire and acid. So anything that you can equip yourselves with for that. I mean, I have my abilities to help me with that.
Yeah.
I too am prepared.
Oh, he's prepared.
I have a few spells up my sleeve here.
This one. He's been itching to light something on fire.
Also, this will be inside of a cave, an old abandoned mine. The mine goes on for quite a ways, and there's several tunnels that all intersect with each other. It's a bit of a maze. So there's some challenges there as well. But past the mines, it turns into natural underground like formations, and that's where the spiders are. That's where the Malpak are, which is a whole different scenario altogether. The Malpak is a huge spider with an iron carapace. It feeds on the stones and it extracts the ore from it and incorporates it into its body.
So what's the best way to kill those?
That's a good question. It's not a whole lot that they're incredibly tough, incredibly resistant. They're from what I hear, they have an iron carapace, so regular attacks on them will do damage. Likely won't do full damage. But they're not completely carapaced out. I know underneath their undersides are like regular abdomen material, so they wouldn't give as much resistance there. If you feel brave enough to go underneath one of these things. Also, the goal is not to kill one. If we kill it, we're never getting it out. It's too heavy. And also, it does us nothing.
By chance, do you have a map of the mines, or are you familiar with it?
We're somewhat familiar with it. When we bought it from the Ulo family, they weren't exactly super happy about it. So they didn't give us the map they gave us was incomplete. We only go in there once per season. We haven't really mapped the whole place out. I'm pretty confident, but you never know.
Any idea where the trolls lay?
That's the other part. They could be anywhere, wherever they found comfortable to rest, and it's their home turf. They're completely comfortable in pure darkness, while we're humans, so not so comfortable in complete darkness.
What you're saying is we have some planning.
Sounds
Yes. Sounds like.
Oh, that takes out my strategy, just running in there and killing it.
I'm surprised you've lived this long.
Oh, you have no idea.
You really don't.
Yeah. Care to share?
What year older?
Again.
Much
So
older.
we need to come up with a plan. We have some supplies, leftover supplies back at the wagon. My spell components are full. Does anyone else need anything else? I mean, the spells I have memorized right now would work really well, but
I have a
So,
few tricks up my sleeve as well.
out of character, how long do I need to be able to craft a magical item if I wanted to craft a new gun?
That depends on the rarity of it.
Well, it would be 3 uncommon items, so it'd be an uncommon, I guess, an uncommon weapon.
An uncommon weapon. Yeah, if you pull, well, you're in the beginning of the day. You could probably pull one uncommon thing with like a full 8-hour day of work, basically. If you roll faster, if you roll really well, slower if you roll really poorly.
Okay, and then what determines what I get?
You decide basically. In your case, you want to make a new gun,
Right.
or upgrade your gun, basically.
Correct.
Use your gun as a frame for the
That's a
upgrade.
frame for it. Correct.
Right. In that case, you'd be using the material components you have, which you said you have of uncommon category, and you could basically make or enchant it to the level of uncommon, or its equivalent in ability. Were any of the uncommon things, uncommon material components named?
The iron oak.
Iron oak handle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other 3 were just the harpy. I think they were the talons.
Oh yes. So yeah, what kind of enchantment were you thinking? Just like a +1? I think that's uncommon, right? I got a thing here. Okay, so yeah, uncommon. Yeah, that'd be +1 weapon. You can do other stuff. Like, let's see here. Something comparable to that of like weapon of warning, or I don't need to. But do you want an enchantment that's consistent with weapons, or do you want an enchantment that's like consistent with like some other kind of magic item, or did you have anything in mind? Period.
I didn't really have anything in mind, honestly. I hadn't really thought it through, but I mean, I've got the items. This would be a good time to make it before we went in.
You got 8 hours to pick.
Right.
But yeah,
I just don't know
literally-
what consists. I just don't know what constitutes an uncommon item. So
Fair.
the +1 constitutes an uncommon item.
Yeah. Some other ways of doing that. Let's see here. Oh, interesting. Bracers of archery. While wearing these bracers, you're proficient with longbow and short bow, and you get a +2 bonus to damage roll with ranged attack made with such weapons.
So what if we did something like that for guns?
gun.
Where
It
that's
would just be with that one guy. So yeah, so no improvement on accuracy, but it would make you hit harder, basically.
right.
So I would give you a +2 damage whenever you roll.
Okay.
You can do it that way.
Basically made some armor piercing, right?
Well,
Yeah, it gives you some more heft, basically.
yeah.
No matter what you load into this gun, you're always rolling +2 damage,
Mhm.
plus your dex.
Plus my dex. Okay. All right,
This
well,
is the
we'll do
base.
that.
You can continue to upgrade your weapon as wanted. So in that case, you have proficiency in Tinker's tools, I believe, as a gunslinger. whatever proficiency it's set to use for your repair for your gun. I believe it's like a Tinker's toolkit.
Right.
So roll that proficiency plus your intelligence.
+3 plus intelligence. Eek. All right. Dang it, that rolled in the crease. Let's roll again. 20. Nat 20. Plus
Nat 20.
-1 plus 3, so 22.
22. Nat 20 though. I have a DC in my head of 15 for getting this done within the 8-hour marker. You get into a zone. Like you find out that you find out that Tokala actually has like a pretty decent work bank, like a work area with all kinds of magical stuff. He offers it to you. It's like, hey, yeah, if you need to work on something, please feel free. Use my tools. And what an 8-hour workday turns into a 4-hour session. Basically, you just get into a zone. And you have for a while. Oh, you did freeze. Oh,
there we go.
Deep breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got into a zone, 4-hour work time.
Yep, 4-hour work time. So yeah, you're basically done by like at this point by like 1 in the afternoon.
All right, so what are we calling this?
Just call it what kind of gun is it? Is it a revolver?
It's a revolver.
So just call it the Iron Oak revolver or something like that.
Yeah.
So then on your damage section of that weapon, what's the damage for it?
Currently, I'm sitting at 1d10 plus 3.
So do so 1d10 plus 5 now.
Wow.
Yeah, nice.
I'm liking that.
So yeah, your gun's got really good weight. It's perfectly balanced. You like you test it, you spin it, you check the chamber and everything. You're like, ooh, all right.
Ooh, hey, all right. And then I got +8 attack bonus, so it's like I'm hitting all the time. Sweet. Okay. My Iron Oak revolver.
Well, so that's him for the half day. What are the rest of you guys doing? Anyone doing anything in particular?
Me and Willow go to the edge of the cliff and try and find this power plant.
Easy enough to spot. If you're trying to like figure out like your best route to get to it, you can spend a little bit of time and just kind of like memorize the path from here to figure out where it's at. From here, you couldn't get any details specifically about it. I guess unless you wanted to like find a telescope or like of some kind and like just spend a few hours doing full-on surveillance on this compound.
No, I just wanted to look at it.
I'm going to secretly follow that their relationship is starting.
So you just watch them. They're just like checking. They're just looking around. They're just spotting it, looking. You guys, Willow and Maxwell, you notice it's definitely busy. It's got lots of. It does lots of work. It looks like there's lots of workers going in and out of there. It looks like they get sent to different places to fix things, and it looks like you can take note that most of the major source of the power lines go to many different factories, and like most of the mines get most of the power cable sent to them. As you can see, though, it looks like most of the places up here, like along the side of the cliff face, don't have power cable sent to them. You know that the Yoki, that the Silk Sower estate had power, but they don't have a cable connecting to it. No, brings to mind maybe like the things like the generator at the Hog Heaven Inn.
Yeah.
No.
Can I see from here about where, about what area all the power's coming from? One in particular building, or no?
Oh, in the down there in the facility,
Yeah.
you can spot. It looks like I said, the place is kind of like an old school day like nuclear reactor. So you see certain like main like vents, and you figure like whatever's at the base of those vents, whatever rooms are at the base of those vents, are where the generators are.
Okay. And about where are they located? Towards the cliff edge where we're at, or towards the center, or
Yeah, it looks like they're definitely like at the cliff. They're like where the at a section where the flat meets the cliff. And there is kind of like a small, looks like a decent sized stream of water, of like glacial water, goes through the facility. Doesn't look like the city uses it for much, but it looks like this power plant uses it.
okay.
Yeah. At this point, who is Hoyt's working? Colburn, you're well, actually, wait. What's Dalton doing? Or are you just like hanging around since you're already prepped?
I'm still in the lounge room. I'm just kind of resting on the couch, collecting my thoughts, preparing.
Acting like a noble, drinking wine.
Yep.
Keeping his pinky up nice and high.
Saman. Saman comes up to you, one of the NPCs.
Yes.
Is like, hey, I know we haven't really had a lot of time to talk. Well, we've had plenty of time to talk. You and me just haven't talked a lot. Um, I've been down for a while, but I've had some time to process. And you guys are doing a lot of things, making active changes, and making money. Um, um, I would like to help and earn in some of that money. Now, you don't know much about me. I am a competent fighter. There,
And also competent scumbag.
I mean, subjective.
Tomato.
Subjective. I would claim, pot calling kind of black a little bit on that one, but like, what does that matter? I can go in there with you and aid you. And worst case scenario, I die, and that leaves you with no burden whatsoever. Right?
There is one issue.
What's that?
My fellows I've gotten to know and fought in battle with, and I can trust them. I don't know you. I don't really care for you. You're nothing to me. And you will continue to be nothing for me. Go away.
Damn.
Cool.
Jesus.
Right. He goes to Colbert. Hey, Colbert.
Go, Colby.
He goes, like, literally walks outside, goes to find Colbert instead.
Oh, he's giving away my position as I'm sneaking up on these people. Let's see.
He's just trying to be nice with Dalton, but Dalton just straight up shot him down. Like, all right.
Gonna play my tune, man.
Dalton went full noble on him.
Yep.
Yeah. So Saman comes up to you, Colburn, and he's just like, hey, Colburn, can we talk real quick?
I kind of like look a little pissed because I was trying to like be all sneaky as I was following them to see what they were doing. Willow and Maxwell.
Like I said, we turned around. Now we noticed that he was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just act like I was sitting here talking to Simone the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
What? No shape shifting anymore?
Hey, I wanted to have a quick talk with you. I've been in a funk last couple weeks for good reason. I know we haven't talked a whole lot because of that, but I want to make some active change in my life. As you know, I got a do certain things and try to save my family. But for that, I'm gonna need some money, and I want to earn it. Um, I'm a good fighter. I would like to assist you um, in this next mission for pay.
How we see how you do in this next fight, and then going forward, we can see.
Well, see, this seems like a really dangerous fight.
Well, then you really got a lot to prove, don't you?
How about I prove something right now? What can I do to prove something to you right now? Because I need some. I get it. You don't want to pay people things. I get it. But I mean, you know my story. I gotta, save my family. So like, I kind of need cash for that. I'm not asking for a handout.
All right. I'll look around on the ground. Try and find a stick kind of similar to my cord. And
Okay.
if I spot one, I'll be like,
Yeah.
that. Pick up that. Not prove we can fight? Let's do it.
Okay. He picks it up. Swings it around a little bit. Yeah, okay. Good weight. So what you want to like spar? Is that what's good? It's like he's like, you sure?
Yeah. No holds barred. Your life, right? At this point, Colburn will throw off his cloak to where you can see he's got the hand axe in his belt. He's got two daggers, kind of like where the gun holsters of the cop would be.
You said no holds bar. That's not a spar. That's not a spar anymore.
You said spar. I said no holds barred.
Okay.
Are you gonna go in this cave and just spar?
All right. If that's what it's gonna take. Roll for initiative.
So that's fun.
Ooh. I got a 5.
I get advantage of it. I got a 7.
Okay.
A 9. Got to add.
All right. So you're in front. You're in front of this dude. He's like 5'8". He looks like he's got like a small muscular build. But he's got the dirty blonde, kind of like dark, not dirty blonde. It's more like a sandy brown hair.
So it looks like looks like Clint.
Just a lot shorter. I would
Just a
imagine.
lot shorter.
A tall dude. It's kind of like it's gotten kind of long, and he's just like, okay, hold on, he ties it real quick. He takes off his jacket since it's cold as hell out here, and he's got the stick, and he's like, all right, let's do this thing. And you go first.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna kind of like watch him do this. I've got the staff up here stretching it. As soon as he starts to tie his hair up and say, let's do this, I'm gonna take the staff and swing it with my right hand and try and sweep his legs out under him.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. We'll treat this like a narrative fight, so any attack you do, you can narratively make it be like whatever you want it to be.
Uh,
16 hits.
Okay. So he does take 5 damage.
All right. So you sweep his legs. He hits the ground. He's like, hits back hits the ground. It's like stone ground. So that's your one attack, right? You don't get 2 attacks.
I don't.
All right. He breathes out of breath. It's like you can see his breath since it's so cold out here. And he goes into a rage. It does like the spinning capoeira move where he goes to try to sweep your legs basically. With basically do the same thing you did to him, but like from the ground.
Only the strong.
I rolled an 18 on the die, so I'm pretty sure that hits you.
Oh yeah.
It's a D6 for a quarterstaff, but D8 if you use it two-handed, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. It does 4 damage to you. Roll the 1 on the die. He sweeps you. Boom. And he gets 2 attacks. Wait, no, he's not level 5. He only gets 1 attack. So yeah, he does 4 damage, and it's narrative. You're not actually prone, right? And he like gets into a standing position, and then it's your turn.
I'll kind of like, after he spins and stuff, I'll kind of look back as, Maxwell and Will are still standing there, kind of like wide eyed, like. And, alright. Guess, doing this. With that, I'll grab the staff now with 2 hands and I'll go in for the full, like, gut check. E2.
That's definitely hits, yeah.
And 12 damage.
12 damage on top of the 5, so we're at 17 damage.
17.
Oh no, that's 6 damage since he takes half. He's in the rage. So 11 damage, but cool. So you hit him. It looks like he's got his guard down because he put both his arms up, and you just like slam him in the ribs. And you're like, you're bigger than, I'm assuming you're bigger than this dude, but you crack him in the rib and you're like, all right, I got this guy. And he just tanks it. And in that moment, you're like, oh no, I'm completely open. And he's bringing it down on you.
And yes, I'm 6'2", my character.
Yep. He reckless attacked you. You got a 19 on the die.
That hits.
He's over there. Paranaway.
Oh, shit.
Paranaway.
Damage. So that's 8 plus 3 strength makes 11, plus the 2 barbarian damage makes 13 damage. It just boom brings it down on your collarbone.
All right. I'm gonna go as I take this right down my shoulder, just kind of like I'm starting to get pissed, and my eyes are starting to black over a little bit, and I'm gonna reach out and grab his wrist as he still hasn't pulled back from me yet, and I'm gonna use chill touch on him.
Oh no, that's magic. Okay. Roll touch attack, yeah. Or melee spell attack in the parlance of.
That's an 18.
Well, actually, you roll with advantage because you did reckless attack. See if you crit.
An 18.
Okay, 18.
Oh my god.
So you hit him for sure. You definitely hit him.
Oh, takes the full 8 necrotic.
Is there any add-on to that?
No, it's just not a hit. He takes 1d8 necrotic. I can't regain hit points until the start of my next turn.
Oh, okay. Well,
And-
that's 19 total.
Until then, my hand clings to the target too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So like literally, it's on his like forearm right there. You see your the blackened like frostbitten imprint on it of your hand on his forearm right there, and you can see him like really like that really hurt. And he is getting close to his last legs here, but it's his turn. And he brought it down. He did that, and he's like, okay. He goes to jab you in the gut with his quarterstaff. He's doing reckless attack. Does a 14 hit you?
Yes, I'm a 13 armor class.
Okay, cool. And shit, I did max damage again. Alright, I don't know how many hit points you have, but I just did that's 13 damage again.
I think I better start adding it up now.
Alright.
Did he freeze? Oh no, okay.
I'm gonna use my reaction. I have one of my Eldritch invocations thing. Action.
Yeah.
Not a drunk.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
Okay. Um, so pretty much what he does is he used reckless attack on the right.
Yeah. Straight shot to the gut. Right, basically right in the solar plex. That's 13 damage.
As he does that, I kind of like huddle down into it like I'm absorbing, and the shadow that starts spinning around me starts turning blue as it kind of encases me in this ice. And what it does is I gain 10 temporary hit points per level. My level. That's so. Okay, so I get to do the 10 damage, and it takes as much of the damage he caused me as possible.
Oh, I see. Okay, and that's a reaction?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So it absorbed quite a bit of that. It absorbed the full 13. Since it, you said that it was like 10 hit points per spell level?
Yeah, so I get a total.
Okay, cool.
And then the downside of it is actually after I take the damage, or absorb the damage, I do gain vulnerability to fire damage. My speed is reduced to 0, and
Oh, wait, like... What? After the spell ends, or after the...
does immediately after you take the damage, you gain vulnerability to fire damage, your speed is reduced to 0, and you're incapacitated. These effects, including any temporary hit points, all end when the ice melts.
Oh.
And it melts at the end of my next turn.
Oh. Okay. Well, it's your turn then. He hits you, he sees it absorbed, and he's like confused and angry about it. But yeah, it's your turn. It looks like he's on his last legs too.
So,
Oh, that's the Asmar ability, yeah. So nice.
that'll get. And as I do that, I just like see the ice start to shake. It's kind of like struggling to keep it going, and it just shatters, and I would just fall out. Yeah.
And mostly this is like was ready for something crazy to happen. He like pokes you with the stick. You okay? You like calm down. You all right?
Yeah,
All right,
take a minute, then come to and be like, sometimes the only way you can fight, make sure you don't die.
I mean, that's a fair tactic. That was crazy.
That's only a small bit of what I can do, son.
He
Sure,
goes
you
to
can
sit down. He's like, yeah, I appreciate that. He goes to sit down. He's like covering his arm. That really hurt. Jesus.
Oh, yeah, that's that might have been
a hit.
that might have been out of anger, and I don't. That'll actually.
Permanent scar.
Well, I get it. I got anger. I know a little bit about anger. All right. Well, but I could come. Awesome. Woo. Shit hurt. It's been a while since I've been in a fight.
Dennis trying to give us a show over there.
So yeah, so Maxwell. So Maxwell and Willow, you just saw that whole thing happen for like there was a full on like 18-20 seconds of just like combat ending with Colburn hitting the ground and then getting up a few seconds later. And then we basically just like chat for a few minutes after that. And since it's like midnight my time, I think that's a good time to end it there after this little bit of combat. Soon you guys will rest, and then we'll hit up the we'll hit up the mines next session. Thanks everyone for watching another session of Explorer's Guide to Thermia. Hope you all had fun for this nice setup session. Next episode, we'll be going into the mine proper and getting into the thick of it there. So again, thank you everyone for watching, and have a nice night.